My name is Andy Cox and I live in Waterloo, Ontario, and I own a bike shop called King Street Cycles here in Waterloo. Throughout university, I actually worked in this store when it was called a Cycle Path. About 20 years ago, we had the opportunity to open our own bike store in this same location that I initially worked at, and we jumped at it. We moved back here and we opened the shop in 2003, and so we've been slinging bikes for 20 years now. My first chopper I built was out of a rally chopper bicycle. My dad and I took a rally chopper, cut the frame tubes and moved them around and welded two forks together, and I made a chopper bicycle. And then when I was maybe 10 years old, my dad showed up with a Honda Z50 and just fell in love with it, ripped it around. And I've always had a motorbike since then. At times I have sold my motorbike to get a mountain bike I was after, and then I've sold my mountain bikes to get a motorbike I was after, and it's flipped and flopped, but for probably 30 years I've had both motorbikes and mountain bikes and been into them both for a long time now. I had a Triumph 650 and then I had a Triumph 750, and they were challenging and they fell apart all the time. And I had a friend in our vintage motorcycle group, Herb Becker, always talking about Nortons and how much better they were. And my friend Grant Schwartz knew of a guy who had a Norton in a barn and wound up getting it for $500 and started playing with that thing. One of the things I really like about the Atlas is it was the last Norton to have the featherbed frame. The Atlas, I found someone had cut the top off that and welded in a single backbone and extended the forks and tried to make a chopper out of it. I wanted to build kind of a dummy racer, kind of a period race bike. I worked with Grant and a few other friends and we got it back into featherbed frame spec and then fabricated a ton of parts. My first attempt at metalwork, on the English wheel and with hammers and sandbags. I made my own tail section, and probably 3 years spent on that bike. Kind of learned to weld and learned to fabricate and learned to shape metal, making this Atlas. I lived out west for a long time and got into the downhill scene. We were riding downhill bikes and shuttling these crazy steep trails in North Vancouver. And I guess I find that same feeling in racing the motorcycles, I know we're not going around a windy road track or anything, but going as fast as you can, there's just nothing like it. Just the thrill and the focus, going absolutely as fast as you can on a bike. Watching your RPM, trying to creep it up just another 100 RPM, tucking a hand in or laying as low as you can and just trying to inch every bit of speed you can out of that thing. I remember my first run, it was a rookie run, so I'm on the rookie course. You do that run, you make the turn off at the end, and you're sitting down at the end, helmet off, just waiting for the van to come and pick you up. It's just the most peaceful satisfaction that you got this bike together and got it down the track successfully, and it was just the greatest feeling.